Hello there. Hope you all are doing great. And I'm really very happy to be here as yesterday we learned five phrases that people often use and we get confused that what does it mean. So we started learning it yesterday. So today five more phrases we are going to learn that we were supposed to learn yesterday. Okay, so I'm waiting for some of you to join so that we can start. And as I okay, so in today's session, आज मैं हिंदी भी बोलने वाली हूँ. So there is going to be Hindi English mix so that you can understand it in a better way. Okay, guys. So please say hi if you guys can see me properly and if my voice is audible to you. Okay. Please write hi in the comment section below if my voice is audible or if you can see me properly. Let me share my screen meanwhile. So, yesterday we learned five phrases that people often use and they sound really advanced in English, and we wonder that why we are not able to understand them, right? So, let's discuss some of the phrases today. So, our today's phrase number one is go back to the drawing board. Go back to the drawing board, which means to start over. In हिंदी किसी चीज को फिर से शुरू करना, क्योंकि जो आपने पहली चीज की है उसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम है या फिर वो आपके क्लाइंट को पसंद नहीं आ रही है, समथिंग लाइक दैट. So for starting over in advanced way, we would say go back to the drawing board. Okay, go back to the drawing board. It means starting over. I'll share some of the examples so that you guys can understand it in a better way. Okay, so some of you have joined. Welcome back, guys. Mhm. Okay, so let's see some of the examples. The client rejected all our proposals, so we had to ask the consultant to take the project back to the drawing board. Here, what does it mean? So the client rejected all our proposals, so we had to get back to the we had to talk to the consultant to take the project back to the drawing board. Okay, so what happens, guys, when you are preparing some, when you are working on a project, okay, you are working on a project and client को वो project पसंद नहीं आया क्योंकि he wants some changes in that, so you have to get back to the drawing board. आपको दोबारा से स्टार्ट करना है क्योंकि उसमें जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसमें कुछ कमी रह गई है एंड क्लाइंट डिडंट रियली लाइक इट. सो वी हैव टू आस्क आवर कंसल्टेंट. कंसल्टेंट कौन होता है? जिनको हम हायर करते हैं, जो हमारे लिए कुछ काम करते हैं. ऑनलाइन भी हम बहुत सारे लोग ऐसी जॉब्स अवेलेबल हैं जहां पर आप एज अ कंसल्टेंट वर्क कर सकते हो. So this is what this sentence is trying to say here. The client rejected all our proposals, so we had to uh, wait. So we had to ask the consultant to take the project back to the drawing board. It means we have to ask our consultant to start everything over again. Hope this thing is clear to you guys. Example number two, my experiment was a failure, so I'm back to the drawing board. A lot of time, what happens, we try to do new things. And most of the time, we fail while trying to create something new. Even while creating these presentations to teach you, I try to make it a little bit creative or I try to add some new things in that. And it happens that most of the time I fail. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि जब मैं कुछ नया ट्राई करना चाहती हूँ तो कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाती है और मुझे सब कुछ दोबारा से स्टार्ट करना पड़ता है स्टार्टिंग से. So here I can say that my experiment was a failure, so I'm back to the drawing board. So I'm back to the drawing board. It means I have to start everything over again. All right. And number three, sometimes the best way to proceed after a mistake is to start over and go back to the drawing board. Let me make you understand it properly. What happens when we are making a kind of presentation or we are working on any of the project? So sometimes we try that if we make some corrections in the same project, it would work. But sometimes the best way to proceed after a mistake is to start over and go back to the drawing board. So this sentence is trying to say that sometimes the best way is to start over again. When you make any mistake, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि दोबारा से शुरू करना अच्छा होता है rather than making corrections, right? So this is how you will use this you will use this phrase back to the drawing board. Now, please give examples. Please write examples in the comment section below if you have understood it properly. Because listening is not going to help you. Only listening is not going to help you. जब तक आप खुद से practice नहीं करोगे, जब तक आप खुद से sentences नहीं बनाओगे, so words will not come in your mind while having conversation with people. This is why I say that practice is really very important. The more you practice, the better you get. Okay. So please write some examples in the comment section below. It's not for me. It is going to help you in long run. Number three, sometimes the best, okay, we have already discussed it. Let's move forward to our next slide. That is, pull yourself together. Pull yourself together. You must have heard people saying that pull yourself together, pull yourself together. And what does it mean? The meaning is really very simple. The pull yourself together means to calm down. For an instance, a lot of time we take a lot of stress, we feel really depressed, we feel demotivated. In that case, people say to us that pull yourself together. Pull yourself together means calm down. A lot of time we take a lot of tensions. For instance, you gave a exam and you couldn't pass in that, you failed in that exam, and you are feeling really demotivated, you don't really feel like talking to anyone. I use the sentence, you don't feel like talking to anyone. मतलब आपको किसी से बात करने का मन नहीं करता. In that case, if your mother or your father comes to you, they will say that pull yourself together. You will get another chance in your life because life is so big. Chances आपको आगे भी मिलेंगे. So pull yourself together, calm down. Okay. Let's see some of the example sentences so that we can understand it in a proper way. Okay. I know it's difficult to get over your loss, but try to pull yourself together and get on with life. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है when we meet our friends, something bad had happened with them. कुछ उनके साथ बुरा हुआ होता है. Sometimes people lost their loved ones, and it is really very a kind of big grief. We can connect, we can understand what they really feel at that situation. So in that case, you can use this sentence. I know it's difficult to get over your loss, but try to pull yourself together and get on with life. Because आपकी लाइफ में कितनी भी प्रॉब्लम हो, you will have to move on. And people can suggest you things that you should do this, you should do these things, but you are the driver of your own car, right? You are the mentor, you are everything for your life, or you're the best friend of yourself. So you have to pull yourself together and get on with life. I hope this thing is clear. Let's discuss our second example. He had a major accident and had a hard time pulling himself together after that. So, accident could be of many types. For an instance, someone might be in depression because of the breakup, right? Hello, Pankaj. Thank you so much for joining. So, there are different kind of situations, guys. Different kind of problems are there. So, that time when people have faced a very tough time, they are already trying really hard to get over this tough time. So people often face difficulty while sleeping, they often get several thoughts while sleeping, so several kind of problems are there. So here he had a major accident and had a hard time pulling himself together after that. So when something bad had happened with you, जब आपके साथ कुछ बुरा हुआ होता है, आप बहुत एफर्ट्स लगाते हो कि सब कुछ नॉर्मल हो जाए. सो इन दैट केस यू हैव हैड अ हार्ड टाइम टू पुल योरसेल्फ टुगेदर. इट मींस आपने बहुत मेहनत की है खुद को संभालने की. So you have had a hard time to pull yourself together. Similarly, here in this example, you can see he had a major accident and had a hard time pulling himself together after that. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have also had hard time pulling yourself together. Let me know in the comment section below. So it could be about your exam, any of your exam that you really worked hard for. कोई ऐसा एग्जाम जिसके लिए आपने बहुत मेहनत की और उसमें आपका सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ. तो उस टाइम पर बहुत बुरा लगता है, बहुत दुख होता है कि यार इतनी मेहनत की, इतना सब कुछ किया, पर फिर भी सिलेक्शन नहीं हो पाया। बट स्टिल आपने खुद को समझाया, यू कन्विंस्ड योर सेल्फ एंड यू डिसाइडेड ओके नेक्स्ट टाइम आई एम गोइंग टू वर्क इवन हार्डर, और दिस टाइम आई एम गोइंग टू क्रैक दिस एग्जाम. So you had a hard time pulling yourself together. It wasn't easy. आसान नहीं था because you studied really hard and you compromised your sleep. You didn't really watch any movie or any series. तो आपने बहुत मेहनत की and you had a hard time and pulling yourself together. I hope you guys have understood how to use it. Though you have had a hard day, it would be better for everyone if you could pull yourself together and get on with your work. A lot of time what happens guys, पहले बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ करता था, whenever my father, he used to come from office, so he would come very angry, he would shout on everyone, he would scream badly that where is the food. So in that case, when someone had a really hard day or very tough day at work and he comes back, for an instance, I can say that my brother, he used to come he used to come in a very bad mood, right? So in that case, I can say that though you have had a hard day, it means I understand that you have had a hard day. It would be better for everyone because when you are angry, when you are sad, when you are not feeling well, it's not only about you, it's about your entire family member. It affects the environment. So though you have had a hard day, it would be better for everyone if you could pull yourself together and get on with your work. आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू हैव हैड अ हार्ड डे, मैं समझती हूँ कि आपका दिन बुरा था, बट इट वुड बी बेटर फॉर एवरीवन, पर अच्छा रहेगा सबके लिए, नॉट ओनली फॉर यू बट इट वुड बी बेटर फॉर एवरीवन इफ यू कुड पुल योर सेल्फ टुगेदर. इट मीन्स इफ यू कैन calm down, right? It would be better for everyone if you can calm down and get on with your work, और अपने काम पर फोकस करो, right? So this is how we make sentences. uh, So Pankaj is saying that I have hard time in pandemic. So Pankaj, here you would say that I have had hard time pulling myself together in pandemic. Why would you say that? Because here you calm down yourself. जब tough situation आई, आपने खुद को संभाला, तो आप बोलोगे I have had a hard time during pandemic. I have had a hard time pulling myself together. मतलब खुद को संभालने में मैंने अब hard time से खुद को संभाला. I have had a hard time pulling myself together during pandemic. This way. Okay. Good try. Good try, Pankaj. You gave this example. Wonderful. I appreciate your effort of writing this comment. Let's see our next sentence, next phrase rather. Feeling under the weather. This one is quite common for all of us because you must have heard people saying, whenever I read books or whenever I listen to any speaker, right? I often get to see this phrase feeling under the weather, and it is really very common, and I must say that you guys should know it. Feeling sick. So when someone is saying that I'm feeling under the weather, they are trying to say that they feel sick. Let's see some of the examples. Mm, She has just returned from her vacation, but she is feeling under the weather and has a sore throat and running nose. Sore throat क्या होता है? जब आपका गला खराब होता है तो आप बोलते हो कि I'm having a sore throat and running nose. So she has just returned from her vacation, but is feeling under the weather and has a sore throat and running nose. So बहुत बार when we have traveled to some place and we come back to our house, that time we don't really feel very active. We feel that we are sick, right? We are facing some kind of difficulty. So in that case, you can make sentence by using this phrase, feeling a bit under the weather. Let's see our next phrase. We had a heavy lunch today, and now I'm feeling a bit under the weather. It happens when you eat a lot of food, or when people say that I have cooked food with so much love and uh, I've cooked it very properly. And when the food is really very delicious, you can't stop yourself. In that case, You can use this phrase, we had I had a heavy lunch today and now I'm feeling a bit under the weather. When you eat a lot and you feel like there is something happening inside your stomach, in that case, you would say that I'm feeling a bit under the weather. In all the cases, you can use whenever you are feeling sick or you are feeling under the weather. Let's see our third sentence. Though he was under the weather, the star player decided to take some medications and play the match as it was an important one for his team. When we have some important work to do, that time we don't really think about our own health. For an instance, these life classes are really important for me, and doesn't matter whether I'm feeling sick, I would be live and I would teach you something. So when something is really important for you and you don't really care about your health, you think that okay, I'll take some medicines and then I'll be better. I would be able to complete my task. Same thing is happening here in this sentence. Let's read it very carefully. Though he was under the weather, the star player decided to take some medications and play the match as it was an important one for his team. हालांकि तो दो का मतलब होता है हालांकि हालांकि जो स्टार प्लेयर है उनकी तबीयत खराब थी पर उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि वो दवाई लेकर मैच को खेलेंगे for his team, right? So he took some medications and played the match. So this is how you use it in your sentences. Now, fourth one is he wanted to hang out with his friends for a bit, but since he was under the weather, he went home. Uh, Guys, you know what? I used to live in another city for my study purpose, and my mother would often complain me that Upasana, I really miss you, and it's been a long time I haven't seen you. So you make several plans that this time when I go my hometown, I'm going to do a lot of shopping, I'm going to meet my friends, and several things. You make several plans, but if you are feeling a bit under the weather, so you can't do all these things, right? Hello, Ria. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, she is at home, so I'm doing live, and she might also be watching it. She's just totally fine, absolutely fine. Yeah, so I was discussing about this sentence. He wanted to hang out with his friends for a bit, but since he was a bit under the weather, he went home. So when you have several plans going on, but due to your health, you can't fulfill it. In that case, you can make this sentence. He wanted to hang out with his friends for a bit, but since he was under the weather, he went home. I hope this thing is clear to you guys. Hello, Pooja. Thank you so much for joining. And guys, let me tell you that I come live at 9 p.m. every day and I try to teach you something new. So if you are new on this YouTube channel, then let me tell you, please join my live sessions and you will not regret it because I try to make it worth watching and worth learning. Next phrase. Our next phrase is uh, mm, this one. Okay. Oh, I changed it from there. That's why it has been problematic. Okay, guys, so our fifth phrase of the day is it's ninth because we learned five phrases yesterday and five we are going to learn today. So your guess is as good as mine. When do we use this phrase? When we have to say that I have no idea. In that case, you would say your guess is as good as mine. Let's understand it in a better way with the help of some examples, right? So these are the examples. If you read it carefully, if you want to know which one is the best of these movies, well, your guess is as good as mine. Guys, when we meet our friends at that time, what we do, we ask them like, which movie should I watch? Could you please suggest me some movies? And your friend, he suggests you two movies that Upasana, you should watch this one and this one. And then I ask him that which one is better? कौन सी ज्यादा अच्छी है? So he would say that your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. So rather than saying I don't know, you can say your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. All right. And Let's see our second example. How far do you think this place is? So, if, well, again, in this case, your guess is as good as mine. For an instance, you are traveling with one of your friend, आप अपने friend साथ travel कर रहे हो, and you both are traveling to a new place for the very first time, okay? And in that case, you ask your friend that how far this place is. आप अपने फ्रेंड से पूछो कि कितना कितना दूर है ये जगह, तो उस टाइम पर आपके फ्रेंड बोलेंगे कि आई एम ऑल्सो ट्रेवलिंग टू दिस प्लेस फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम. सो your guess is as good as mine. It means I don't know. You don't know, even I don't know, right? And a lot of time people ask me that, Upasana, how long will it take me to learn English? So in that case, I would say ki your guess is as good as mine. It means that I don't know. It depends on people whether you are putting efforts or not, or how serious you are. So when you have to say that I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. Let's see some more examples. Hmm. I asked the mechanic whether the device will work properly after repairing it. He said, your guess is as good as mine. So, where's my phone? For an instance, I bought these ear dopes. Okay, let me show it to you. I bought these ear dopes, and it is stopped working. And I go to mechanic, I go to a shop, and I ask the shopkeeper that uh, whether these ear dopes will start working fine or not. So in that case, the mechanic would say that your guess is as good as mine. It means I don't know, right? This way. Now, how long do you think we should have to wait for the bus? Your guess is as good as mine. How long do you think we should wait for the bus? Your guess is as good as mine. For an instance, if you are waiting on the bus station and you're asking your friend that how long do you think we should have to wait for the bus? And your friend also doesn't know that when the bus is going to arrive. In that case, you would say that your guess is as good as mine. Mm, okay, last but not the least. Oh, just wait, guys, okay? Just a second, guys. Why I'm not able to share it with you? Yeah, so when pigs fly, this is our last phrase of the day, which means something that will never happen. Something that will never happen. For that case, when we are, okay, let me share my camera with you. Something that will never happen. In that case, you can say when pigs fly. Let's understand it in a better way with some of the examples. Hmm. So John asked Sarah whether she would go to watch movie with him. Sarah replied that would happen when pigs fly. It means this is not going to happen. This is something that is not going to happen. So when any unknown person comes to you and he asks that would you like to go for to watch a movie with me? In that case, you would say yes I would when pigs fly. It means never. Okay, let's see our second example. He plans to clean his house every week, but he will probably do it only when pigs fly. So there is a person who says that okay, I will clean my house today or this week I will clean it, but he never does it, right? एक ऐसा इंसान है जो हमेशा बोलता है कि आज करूंगा but वो कभी भी नहीं करता. So in that case you would say that he plans to clean his house every week but will probably do it only when pigs fly. It means he will never do it. All right, guys. So that's it for today. These were the phrases that I wanted to share with you. Let me see if we have any other slide left. No. So that's all. And in case you have missed the live session of today, you can watch the recorded one. And even we discussed five sessions. So yeah, Ria was asking something. A strong, lasting feeling of love and attraction means infatuation. Okay, great, Priya. Even I was not aware about this word, guys. I have heard it, but I didn't really know the meaning of it. Ma'am, please, your next live chat about silent words. Yeah, Pankaj, you asked me yesterday as well. So tomorrow I'll try to prepare something with silent letters, right? And guys, I come live every day at 9 p.m. So please join these live sessions. These are really very helpful for you. In case you want me to answer some of your queries, you can write it in the comment section below, and I will come live and answer all your questions. If you have any other question, if you want to ask me anything, feel free to ask, guys. And if you want to meet this guy, he's Mickey. Any questions? Okay, so I think that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. And still, I'm saying that if you have any query, feel free to write in the comment section below, and I would be happy to answer all of your questions. And I would come live separately for answering your questions. Okay, so I'm always there. If you have any question, if you have any doubt or anything in your mind, just ask away. Amazing session. All right, thank you so much for your kind words, guys. Have a nice evening ahead. Bye bye. Take care. Happy learning.